You can do some pretty insane and absurd things in movies nowadays. Like, have you seen some of the crazy stuff that they're able to get away with? It's wild. I have half a mind to write a letter to someone. You can show off awful atrocities, terrifying monster creatures, and disturbing and uncomfortable situations. But did you know that you can't legally show a phone number on screen? Yep, that's off limits, as are a number of other super weird things that you can't legally do on the big screen. You can create entire digitized worlds that exist within a computer simulation, or have winged dragons face off against giant fire-breathing robots. But if you dare show someone dialing a real phone number that exists, so help me. What's fascinating about the whole illegal phone number situation is that movies and TV shows always work around the issue by using a 555 number. You ever notice that? Ever since the 1950s, if you see someone dial a phone number or write down a phone number on screen, chances are it starts with 555. That's because 555 numbers are reserved exclusively for works of fiction. It was introduced as a way to stop prank callers from having a field day with numbers that they found in movies. The number 5 correlates to the letters J, K, and L on a phone, which aren't associated with any major American states. Interestingly enough, as of today, only the numbers 555-0100 through 555-0199 are reserved for works of fiction. If you pay close enough attention throughout the annals of movie history, there have been some reoccurring fictional digits to pop up on multiple occasions. 555-2368 was used as the Ghostbusters TV ad hotline, as well as on the photo in Memento. And it appeared as Marla's phone number in Fight Club, and the television show The Rockford Files, and the television show The Mod Squad, and several others. Other popular 555 phone numbers pop up in movies like Die Hard with a Vengeance, when John McClane has to dial to stop the detonation of a bomb. There's also a noticeable one in Mean Girls, right there on the mathlete's business card. Dom Toretto's number in The Fast and the Furious is 323-555-6439. There's even 2 different 555 numbers in Back to the Future, with one belonging to Jennifer's grandmother and the other being Doc Brown's. So what happens when a movie doesn't use a 555 number though? Well, the makers of Bruce Almighty found that one out the hard way. They used a regular, real 7-digit phone number in their movie, which belonged to an actual man named Bruce, a pastor from North Carolina. Oh Lord, the irony. For the movie's video release, the number was changed and the line mentioning it was dubbed, but poor Bruce certainly got bombarded with unwanted calls, and we can only assume the movie was penalized for their oversight. Certain movies even lean in on the weird rule and tend to make fun of the fake number rule. The Hebrew Hammer features a character whose phone number is 555-55-555-55555. Perhaps the greatest self-awareness joke, however, comes from The Simpsons, where Police Chief Wiggum traces the phone number of a kidnapper and says out loud, quote, 555, "Aw, geez, that's gotta be phony," before giving up. What used to be just a phone number dilemma has now leaked into all sorts of other aspects now that technology has developed. The problem has spread to IP addresses, where filmmakers aren't allowed showing real ones on screen and mandating that they need to create fake ones. This always gets a chuckle out of computer-savvy viewers who can spot a fake IP address. I'm sure there are some kind of rules in place regarding Twitter handles and Facebook pages as well. If only movies could take a page out of rap music's playbook. Remember Mike Jones? That guy made a whole career off telling people his real phone number. He put it in every verse. It was brilliant. 281-330-8004. I'll remember that for the remainder of my life. We've talked about the phone number thing, but that isn't even close to the weirdest rule when it comes to making movies. In fact, back in the day, there were some seriously messed up ones. There was this thing called the Hays Rules, which was the informal name for the motion picture production code in the 1930s. The code was a set of rules governing American filmmakers that shaped, in a positive way and in many ways negative ways, American cinema for over 3 whole decades. Some of the most ridiculous rules included the 1 foot on the floor rule, which stated that any scene depicting a man and a woman in the bedroom together had one of 2 options they were allowed. They could either be sleeping in two separate twin beds, like Bert and Ernie, or they could show the couple in the same bed so long as the woman had one foot hanging out from under the covers and visibly placed on the floor for the duration of the scene. Apparently, audiences didn't like the idea of married couples being remotely intimate with one another. Another interesting rule stated no safe cracking, because I guess the Hays Code authors were worried that this would give audiences some bad ideas and inspire people to start cracking safes. More specifically, the rule states that crimes against the law shall never be presented in such a way as to throw sympathy with the crime as against law and justice or to inspire others with a desire for imitation. You know, because impressionable audiences might go around robbing banks if they see it on the big screen. Some other absurd Hays rules included no indecent dancing, no silhouettes of nudity, no lustful kissing, no mention of venereal disease, no interracial couples, and religious figures weren't even allowed to be portrayed as funny. People in the movie industry in the 1930s sure were, stupid. Jumping back to the present day, there are some debatably equally dumb rules that still exist around the globe today. For example, did you know that China banned time travel? In 2011, China's State Administration for Radio, Film, and Television decided to crack down on TV shows featuring time travel because they apparently, quote, casually make up myths, have monstrous and weird plots, use absurd tactics, and even promote feudalism, superstition, fatalism, and reincarnation, end quote. So I guess Back to the Future is out of the question then, eh? That unfortunate Chinese population will never know the joy that is Doc Brown's DeLorean. That's not the only crazy Chinese rule either. The country cracked down on a world of other bans, including one that mandates films and TV shows aren't allowed featuring one-night stands, any form of drug use, gambling, sexual abuse, or prostitution. I guess that makes sense, seeing as how the government doesn't want their population getting any of the wrong ideas, or having any fun from what it sounds like. The cherry on top is the ban on any supernatural occurrences, which eliminates just so many quality programs. Moving along the map, did you know that nunchucks are banned from appearing on screen in the United Kingdom? Members of the British Board of Film Classification apparently aren't Bruce Lee fans, because when Enter the Dragon got released in 1973, the board banned it due to violent content. Apparently they didn't like the use of weapons such as nunchucks and flying stars. Apparently bazookas and grenades are fine, but nunchucks cross a line. According to BBFC's chief censor James Furman, these types of weapons could be easily purchased, and he didn't want British audiences getting any ideas, so all martial arts weapons were banned. They took the ban so seriously that a scene was cut out of 1991's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, where a turtle holds a string of sausages like a set of nunchucks. Sausages. Again, automatic rifles are a green light, but breakfast meats that vaguely resemble a karate weapon, that's a hard no. Banning supernatural occurrences and martial arts weapons is almost understandable, but there's just no way to make sense of the ban that exists in Manila, where Claire Danes is illegal. Yeah, you heard that right. In the late 1990s, the young movie star was filming a movie called Broke Down Palace on location in Manila. She was later interviewed about her experience there, and she called it a, quote, ghastly and weird city. She doubled down on the comment, saying, quote, it smelled of cockroaches with rats all over, and that there is no sewage system. Well, word got back to Joseph Estrada, the president of the Philippines at the time, and the drama began. Manila's city council effectively banned Claire Danes from coming back, and banned her films from showing there. On the one hand, that's a pretty rough story, but on the other hand, it's a pretty cool thing to have been banned from an entire geographical region. That's not a bad thing to bring up at a dinner party. Hats off to Claire Danes on that one. As if that wasn't odd enough, did you know that in Myanmar, there's a ban on 2 entire colors? Like, how do you even enforce this one? Not just one, but two colors on the color spectrum are forbidden from being used in films there. Apparently the colors red and yellow are strictly off limits, meaning 2007's Simpsons movie wasn't even allowed to be shown there. Finally, the craziest rule of them all exists in Saudi Arabia, where movie theaters in general aren't allowed. Yep, that's right, it's just not a thing. The entire art form of movies just aren't allowed. Public movie theaters have been banned there since the 80s, forcing anyone who wants to check out a new release to head over to Bahrain, the nearest island country with access to motion pictures. Apparently YouTube is quite popular there though, so as long as they've got ScreenRant, who needs movies, am I right? Well, what do you think? What's the craziest movie rule in your opinion? Drop a comment in the section below letting us know your thoughts. Before you go, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to ScreenRant to stay up to date on all of our latest releases. Until next time, bye!